Well, good morning. Today I'll be playing a 10-minute bass solo to the song Cherokee. I hope you enjoy it. What's that? No bass solo. Devotional. Got it. Okay, so I won't be playing a bass solo today for you, but I will be giving you a devotional. Something to think about. If you don't know me, my name is Sam Cooperstein, and I am a shepherd at Plymouth Congregational Church. It's great to be able to talk to you guys. I can't see you, but it's great to talk to you. Keep wanting to say see you because I want to see you. Anyway, you might be asking yourself, why am I holding this bass for a devotional? Was he really going to play a solo, or is there something else going on? Well, I wish I could play a solo right now, but there is something else going on. I'm standing in the place where I practice my bass. It's kind of my oasis. My wife, Marianne Cooperstein, shared Tuesday that she was sharing her devotional from her oasis in the backyard, which is a great place. I like that spot, but this is actually the place where I get my mind off of things and just focus on remembering the songs by reading and remembering the technique and just getting into the music. I come from a family of jazz musicians, and it's just something that's who I am. So here I am in this place, remembering who I am every time I play this, and enjoying myself outside of the stresses of life and the distractions of the circumstances we find ourselves in, which I know that all of you are in the same boat to different degrees. You find yourself in uncharted territory, and it's discerning and not discerning. It's confusing, I guess, at times, and it could feel very disorienting is the word I was thinking of. So I just want you to hope I have something I can share with you that would be a blessing to you. I want you to give me about 2 minutes of your time and just like to read a little scripture and give you a thought for the day. And so here we go. I'm going to read you a little scripture out of Mark chapter 8, starting at verse 14. Jesus had just fed thousands of people in a very remote place. And the Pharisees came to him and tried to test him and asked him for a sign. He had replied to them. He sighed deeply and replied to him, "Why does this generation ask for a miraculous sign? I tell you the truth, no sign will be given to it." Then he left them. He got back on the boat and crossed to the other side. So here we go, picking up from 14. The disciples had forgotten to bring bread, except for one loaf they had with them that was in the boat. Be careful, Jesus warned them. Watch out for the yeast of the Pharisees and of Herod. They discussed this with one another and said, "It is because we have no bread." Aware of their discussion, Jesus asked them, "Why are you talking about having no bread? Do you still not see or understand? Are your hearts hardened? Do you have eyes but fail to see and ears but fail to hear? And don't you remember when I broke the 5 loaves for the 5,000? How many basketfuls of pieces did you pick up?" 12, they replied. "And when I broke the 7 loaves for the 4,000, how many basketfuls of pieces did you pick up?" They answered, 7. He said to them, "Do you still not understand?" So the reason why I bring this up is this is the second miracle of feeding thousands in a desolate area that Jesus performed in the presence of the disciples. Not to mention, they all knew and understood the story of God providing manna to his people in another desolate area when he delivered them from Egypt. And again, they're not on the same page. The disciples are hearing what Jesus is saying to them as a warning, and they're thinking about the scarcity of what they've brought, and they're just not in step with Christ, to the point where he asks them a series of questions, asking them, do you have eyes and not see? Do you have ears and not hear? Have your hearts become hardened? And I feel for Christ during this time, but during this story, but I also feel for the disciples, because I think that we can relate to the disciples in this time of scarcity and isolation. There is a sense of desolation, and I know that the scarcity we feel isn't just toilet paper and bottled water. It's being able to hug one another, being able to recline with one another, laugh, and just break bread together. Such an important part of who we are as a people. And so at this time, I would just encourage you to remember God's faithfulness, to remember the blessings that come from Christ, that there is nothing lacking in God. Remember who you are, just as I remember the deep roots I have in music through my family. Remember the deep roots you have in faith and provision through your family. And get in step with Christ. Get in rhythm with Christ. Don't rush, don't lag, but be in step with Christ. And have eyes to see, ears to hear, and soft hearts for what He's teaching you during this season. I pray that we all grow deeper in love with Christ during this time and deeper in step with Christ. And I hope that this is a blessing to you. I love you guys, and I look forward to playing my bass for you someday. That Cherokee bass solo is coming soon. So take care. Bye.